that your life and your ecosystem are connected? Do you wonder why indigenous ancestors were intimate with nature? Are you surprised that our attitude to the environment challenges us, since our greed for the earth's resources is a decision for suicide? Where have we, as indigenous people, thrown the virtue of responsible stewardship and the spirituality of deep intimacy with nature? How did we lose our inherited sense of intergenerational justice? I enjoin you to sit back, relax, and follow this episode on Indigenous ecological lifestyle as fostering responsible stewardship and intergenerational justice. Hello everyone, welcome to Indigenous Perspectives, Rethinking Our Thinking with Edward Sandman Muge. In today's episode, we will look at the ecological crisis and how humanity is slowly but steadily sliding into a crisis through its growing isolation from the environment. This disconnection has proven inimical to indigenous spirit of connection with everything in their universe. Humanity is sinking deeper into self-destruction that only the ancestral spiritual value and virtue of responsible stewardship can salvage it. This means that indigenous people must retrieve their eco-memory through reappropriating their connection with their universe, a way of reconstituting traditional wisdom. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Ancestral sense of ecological and social justice developed from the sense of responsibility indigenous people cultivated through their connection and relationship with nature. Indigenous people's ecological lifestyle promoted responsible stewardship that is epitomized in cherishing and preserving ancestral cultural treasures in a way that fosters relationship with Mother Earth and ensures intergenerational justice. Justice, as we experience it today, is a commodity reserved for the highest bidder. It has been sacrificed on the altar of personality, cult, ethnic, and religious sentiments. The result is the distancing of the people from their ancestral virtues of stewardship and justice. Ecological crisis is witnessed today in desertification, erosion, global warming, drought, and flooding. All these can be explained in the abdication of the people's social, cultural, historical, spiritual, and ecological responsibilities. Stewardship, social justice, and environmental justice have been overtaken by the people's whet appetite arising from selfishness and greed rather than seeking what is sufficient for living a decent life. This is fueled by the insatiable desire to accumulate wealth beyond the comprehension of human moral intelligence that is founded on the equitable distribution of the earth's resources among those who came first, those now living, and those yet unborn. The more we abandon ancestral ways, the more we find ourselves disconnected from everyone and everything in the universe. Environmental degradation took a downward trajectory when generational selfishness in the name of capitalism and technology replaced intergenerational concern. The notion of sacred forests and mountains demonstrate the ecological conservation mindset of the ancestors. Sacred forests and mountains were not so designated to instill fear only, but as means of bringing people to an indigenous, virtuous spirituality of responsible stewardship of the environment. The positive disposition of the ancestors witnessed in the timing for hunting, fishing, and controlled logging ensured that forests and sacred places helped the regeneration of forests and conservation of wildlife. The rites that are performed before hunting, for example, are meant to allow the people to enter into the mystery of the environment and foster ecological self-understanding. Our detachment of development from culture was the rejection of the sacredness of the totality of reality. The ancestral passion to cultivate and maintain the virtue of ecological respect and responsibility for the environment has imbibed in the people the value of conservation of natural resources for everyone's good, even the unborn. The largest rainforest in the world, the Amazon rainforest, is contributing to the balance of the ecosystem and sustenance of human quality of life, which is so dependent on its forests, wildlife, and water for survival. The indigenous preservative instinct has kept and made the Amazon ecosystem a blessing to humanity today. It is pertinent, therefore, for us to recapture and interiorize the virtues of responsible stewardship and environmental conservation. Our losing touch with our ancestral heritage has resulted in turning us into destroyers and enemies of ourselves and future generations. Indigenous peoples' cultural, spiritual, ecological, moral, and physical disconnect with nature created environmental crisis. The spirituality of intricate connection of the people and their ecosystem demands of us the duty to think selflessly and within the context of the overall good of the universe. We must avert the impending ecological disaster with the retrieval of ancestral ecological wisdom to guide our actions. There is, therefore, the need for us to recapture ancestral awe and reverence in our consciousness. Thanks for joining Ancestral Heritage TV. Until next time, always remember that your identity is formed in your culture. Follow Ancestral Heritage TV on ancestral_heritage TV on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share this video. Goodbye.